what you're about to learn is the most important ingredient for a marriage that would be happy. You see, let me tell you something. There's a common error that most of us make. And the error is this: when we want to choose the person we're going to spend the rest of our lives with, we look at all the good qualities and all the boxes that they tick. Oh, she's beautiful. He's handsome. He's got money. We get along. And we have a lot of hobbies in common. You see, many people mistake common hobbies for compatibility. Did you hear what I just said? The fact that you have hobbies in common doesn't make you compatible. What's your best color? Yellow. Oh, me too. And because of that, you start thinking that something is there. Listen, when it comes to real compatibility, we are talking about the real things that can affect the health of the marriage. For instance, financial compatibility. You see, this simple thing I'm just mentioning, it can make or mar relationships. So, how would you act if you had 100 million? And how will your partner act if he or she had 100 million? Those simple questions actually matter. Because you know what some of you would do if you had 100 million and that was all you had in your account? You will buy a car of 70 million. I'm not judging you. For some of you, that's your priority. Well, I'm judging you. What do you mean? But you get what I'm saying? But I hope you know there are some people, all right, that really believe in delayed gratification. You look at their priorities and you think that they are stingy even to themselves. Until they have bought their second house, third house, before you now start seeing signs around them that they actually have money. Have you seen people like that? They will fly economy, they will wear the most modest things and all of that. Now, if somebody who likes to flex and enjoy life, who has things like vacation twice or thrice a year as sacrosanct, if those two people get married, you're going to have a serious problem. Because one person will feel, you are suffocating me. I just want to enjoy. I want to take care of myself. And the other person is like, you're going to destroy our lineage. You would destroy. Come on, are you getting what I'm saying? I'll give you another example. It is one thing to consider, okay, this person talks to me nicely and treats me well and all of that. But you must always anticipate and try to imagine how well the person repairs when there is conflict. Most people make their marriage decision based on how the person treats them, how well the person treats them when things are going fine. But there are some people who are the sweetest people in the world until something goes wrong. Have you seen people like that? Let one thing go wrong. So there is something psychologists call repair. How fast do you repair? So a man named John Gottman, a psychologist, he studied thousands of marriages, all right? He actually brought them into a home, Big Brother style, and was watching their idiosyncrasies. And he came up with research. He said in 15 minutes now, if he sees a marriage, he can tell if they will last. In 15 minutes. Just give him 15 minutes. And one of the things he discovered is that both good homes and bad homes had bad times. You need to understand this. A good home is not a home that is devoid of quarrels. Some of you don't know that. Some of you have built a fantasy in your head that has made it difficult to build a home with you. Because at the slightest provocation or confrontation, you want to run away. Maybe it's the trauma of the past. But you don't see that a good person can have bad times, bad moments. And sometimes you judge your partner based on, simple moments of weaknesses. Anyway, let me move on from that. When you quarrel, what does it take you to get back? How long does it take you? Have you seen people, the slightest confrontation, until 1 month before they talk to you again? Maybe you are that person. Now, these are the issues. And this is where emotional regulation comes in. A good person can be poor at emotional regulation. They just don't know how to handle it when they disagree. They don't know how to fight gracefully. Please, are you listening to what I'm saying? The reason I'm taking my time with this is because many churchgoers don't know it. You can be tongue speaking and not know how to fight gracefully. You can have a position in church and not know what I'm talking about. So again, I'm talking about love out of season. Please, what did I call it? You know, it's just like when Paul was instructing Timothy. He said, preach the gospel in season and out of season. Anyone who is in ministry knows that there will be times you feel like preaching and there will be times you don't feel like preaching. And I can tell you one thing for sure. Many times God moves the most at the times where you feel him the least. I'm telling you. Some of the greatest miracles this ministry has witnessed happened on days when I did not feel like holding the microphone. The sharpest word of knowledge that we've seen in this ministry till date, I almost did not come. Almost. And I just dragged myself out of bed, you know, and boom. All right? And the same thing that applies to ministry applies to relationships. You must learn to love out of season. I wanted to say that somewhere at the end, but let me say this. If you only have sex in marriage when you feel like having sex, your marriage is in trouble. Because the movies have lied to you that everything has to be picture perfect. And there will be candles and petals. And then you just take each other to the bedroom and both of you are absolutely in the mood. There is something called maintenance sex. And can I tell you something? Maintenance sex is what will keep a home. Are you listening to me? Thank God for delight. There is duty. Do you know the Bible teaches this? That except for consent of time to pray, don't fail to render to your wife, your spouse, due benevolence. Now, he's coming from a duty standpoint. You ought to love sex. You ought to be excited about it. But now, this is your duty. And even spiritual devotion should not take you away from that duty for too long. Thank God for the times where there are just fireworks in the bedroom, but there's also a schedule, at least twice a week. You don't feel like it, lie down. Before problem go day. You know, if you eat well at home, your eye will not be roaming around for food outside. Help each other. Oh. It has been going too long. How many days now? You are busy. Lied. We will do the fancy one when there is time. Drop your laptop, 5 minutes. I go live for you. The man, Gary Chapman, wrote a book, 4 Seasons of Marriage. And he said just the same way, especially in the European world, there are 4 seasons every year. There is spring, autumn, summer, and what? Which one am I missing? Winter, all right? Of course, Nigerians, we can't relate. We just know when it's not raining, sun is shining. Very simple. But elsewhere, there are 4 seasons. And he said, many marriages, including good marriages, have seasons. There is the winter season. In winter, it's cold. You love this person, but some things have gone, some water has gone under the bridge, and you're just cold towards each other. Communication is not flowing as it used to be, or as it used to. And it matters how you handle your winter season. Because it doesn't matter how much fun you had in summer. Listen, I'm your pastor, but I'm telling you, more often than not, winter is coming. Oh. I promise you, I didn't do that deliberately. But that's good. Okay, let me do it again. It doesn't matter how much fun you had in summer. Winter is coming. This is important, and I've seen people destroy something permanent for a temporary situation. What I'm telling you has been established in psychology. Behaviorists have done paperwork on it. This is empirical study. Have you heard of the 7-year itch? Someone even did a movie on it based on this ideology. Statistically, by the time the marriage gets to 7-8 years, either one of them or two of them would think of divorce. More often than not. Do you know what research does? It makes you know that you're not crazy. So when you get into those shoes, it's just for a while. It's normal. And guess what? If you pass that stage, if you survive that phase, the marriage will go on to survive, very likely, forever. So these are just some things to understand. It's normal. Disagreements will occur. You didn't marry a robot. You married a real person. You have differences of perspective, differences of upbringing. So until you learn to love out of season, you're not even loving the Bible way. Please, are you listening to me? Come on, I said, are you listening to me? Yes, I've said it time and again. Every marriage, every love story is like the Cinderella story. The first day you see Cinderella, the way she's dressed, everything is borrowed. And she's not trying to deceive you. That's just the rules of engagement. You don't go to a ball dressing the way you dress at home. So unintentionally, there are parts of people you don't see when you're in the dating phase. And true love begins after midnight. When the horse disappears and turns back to a mice, and the fancy shoes disappear, and she's back to her normal, decent clothes, and everything disappears, it is from then that the clock of love begins to tick. It is from then. All the other ones were just secondary. No matter how long your dating phase was, you never really know who you are getting married to. There will be things you will see after the honeymoon stage that will surprise you. You see, that fine boy that you're dating, have you smelt his farts? I'm not trying to scare you, but I saw a video of somebody who was on admission. And they investigated very hard. Where is this sickness coming from? They couldn't tell. So when they did some studies, they found the chemicals that farting gas used to release, in the lady's body in a high volume. So what happens is the lady likes to sleep under the duvet. And the guy for there, they give her. Hospital. Come on, are you listening to me? Oh. And true love begins after midnight. And you see, I think to help us understand love out of season, I want to explain something that a lot of churchgoers don't know. And it is the fact that marriage is a covenant. Some of us think we know it, but we act otherwise. Marriage is a covenant. Marriage is not a contract. The average Christian treats marriage like a contract. And I will tell you the difference in a bit. Marriage is not a contract. Marriage is a covenant. You know, today, if you want to start a church, just go to Corporate Affairs Commission. If the name is available, they register the name for you. Get a good venue, get a website, get social media handles, and start teaching whatever it is on your mind, whether it is rubbish or right. No matter how foolish you are, at least one person will believe. But if you don't have a call, you don't have a call. Simple and straightforward. The same way, if you want to get married, and both of you are mature, above the age of 18, you can just go to the courts, get married, get the legal documents, and start a home. But you have to understand, before any government existed, it was God who said it is not good that man should be alone. Are you getting what I'm saying? It was all God's idea. And the Bible says, what God has joined together. So, who joins a man to his wife? Answer me now. It is God who joins a man to his wife. The government may have given you a certificate, but it is God who joins a man to his wife. So the most important dealing between both of you is the covenant, not the contract. And it doesn't matter the cultural perspective in your context or the legal perspective in your context. Especially as a believer in Jesus Christ, treat marriage first and above all else as a covenant. What are the differences between a contract and a covenant? A contract is an exchange of goods, services, or obligations. That's what a contract is. A contract is an exchange of goods, services, or obligations. I give you this, you give me that. I don't know if you know, a lot of people approach marriage that way. And the reason I'm taking time to teach it is because some things have become so normative in our culture, you don't even see that you have become transactional in the way that you are approaching love and marriage. It seems very normal to go into marriage tit for tat. Are there things you ought to expect in a home? Yes. Husband to wife and vice versa. But marriage covenant is deeper than that. He has money, I am beautiful. Or she has money, and I am loyal. Many people don't choose a partner, they choose what the partner can do for them. You actually are not choosing a person. You are choosing what the person can do for you. Sometimes these things are hidden in your heart. No one else knows. You are making a business decision. I've preached on it. Marriage is a business decision. You see, it must make sense logically. It must make sense legally. It must make every other sense. But the marriage covenant must still be considered as being deeper than that. All right? So now, what's the difference? Marriage covenant is the union of persons, not the exchange of obligations and services. It's the union of persons. Genesis chapter 2 verse 24. Two shall become one flesh. Say aloud, amen. So a contract joins interests. A marriage joins lives. If you don't understand this, you can live as a single person in a home. Otherwise, marriage can become an exchange economy. Consider this. Anything that was the reason you got married can change. The successful businessman or businesswoman can have a hit in the economy and can lose the money. That beautiful woman or handsome man can get sick, God forbid. You see, the reason why you have to learn this earlier is so that we avoid a lot of wicked people in life. There are a lot of wicked people in this life. If at your vulnerable state, your partner doesn't feel safe with you, there's a problem. You know, I keep saying this because I think it was a life-altering moment for me. I was doing my master's in business administration at Unilag. And one of the days I was driving home, this was 2013 or so. One of the days I was driving home, one lady asked me to give her a lift. I think she was even pregnant at the time. So I gave her a lift. And one thing led to another, we were just talking. And she said unequivocally that if her husband loses his money, she's leaving the house. That she would divorce him instantly. I looked at her, I thought she was joking. She was serious. I mean, at first I was disappointed, but after a while I was now like, what's my own? You don't understand the agreement they had. Because some people, that's all they have to offer. That's all they bring to the fore. They just throw money around and expect you to follow the sense. But I'm here to tell you, a Christian marriage is different. Biblical marriage is a covenant. Please help me tell the person by side. Say, biblical marriage is a covenant.